Greatest Celt ever, Jock Stein, this morning, and I know the thing that would have pleased him most of all was the number of fans who'd come here, because as Jock Stein famously said, football is nothing without fans. But I know you would also want me to welcome some of our honoured guests who've come with us this morning, and I'm absolutely delighted that we have John Gatland and Jonathan Stein here from the Stein family. And on a day when we have come to honour a great Celtic player and captain, and a man who saved this club when we were in the doldrums, I'm absolutely delighted that we have here a great Celtic player and captain and a great saviour of this club as well, Billy McNeill and Fergus McCann. And finally, with us, along with the support, remembering that no man is an island. There were one or two people around Jock Stein who helped to make him as great as he was. And among those many people who assisted Jock in his accomplishments, none stood higher than the Lisbon Lions. Thank you for coming today. So much has been said about Jock Stein that I'm going to keep what I say tight and brief, because there is very little I can add to the accolades. But I just want us all to remember that Jock Stein did not arrive with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was brought up in the 20s and 30s in the poverty and deprivation of the Lanarkshire coalfields in Burnbank. He didn't arrive here as some great superstar. He came via Albion Rovers in Llanelli, and he came here to give a lead to the reserve team. And he didn't come here finally as some internationally glamorous manager. He came after a short spell, but successful, at Hibs and Dunfermline. And yet in all of those areas, he became the preeminent football emblem, not only of Britain and Europe, but of the world. Because this man who came from the Lanarkshire coalfields became the most articulate exponent of footballing philosophy of his time. This fella who came here to train the reserves went on to become the captain of a Celtic team that defeated everyone else in Britain in 1953 in the Coronation Cup, took the league in the cup the following year, and when he returned as manager, not only excelled in Scotland and Britain, but throughout Europe and the world by winning the European Championship. That was the measure of Jock Stein. And that is why we remember him today. Because when Bill Shankly said in those famous small number of words after the 1967 Cup final, "John, you're immortal," he didn't do so just because of the record achievements of Stein, huge though they were. He didn't do so just because of the memories that he'd given us. When he talked about immortality in football, he talked about Stein's philosophy of football. And that is where I want to finish today, because Jock Stein is not only a memory, he's not only a legend, he is a contemporary inspiration for this club and for all football clubs. Just after he won the European Cup, Jock Stein was congratulated by a commentator, and he said, the commentator said to him, "You must be very proud at this moment." Stein said, "There is not a prouder man on God's earth than me at this moment. Winning was important, aye, but it was the way we have won that filled me with satisfaction. We did it by playing football, pure, beautiful, inventive football. There was not a negative thought in our heads. Interplayed right into our hands. It's so sad to see such gifted players shackled by a system that restricts their freedom to think and act. Our fans would never accept that sort of sterile approach. Our objective is always to try to win with style. Jock, you were right then, you're right today, and you'll be right forever in that philosophy at Celtic Football Club. God bless you. We remember you with great satisfaction, great pride. Now I'm going to ask Tony Hamilton to take us through the rest of this formal ceremony to remember Jock Stein. Tony.
Okay.